This is probably one of the saddest videos I've ever had to make, or have made on here. Got the news this morning. Woke up, saw it on the socials. Diogo Jota, his brother, passed away today. Freak accident, very innocuous, and it's just, man, it's sad. Like it's sad. The man just got married a couple of maybe a week ago. Just celebrated winning the Prem, winning with Portugal. Got married, at the highest pinnacle of football. Like it can never get any better than that. You know what I mean? It can never get any better than that. Marrying the love of your life, having beautiful kids together, your professional career, you're at the top, and for couple days after, weeks after, it's just unfortunate. My condolences to his family, his friends, his loved ones, to Liverpool. People are definitely going to be hit very hard by that. And just on a human fundamental level, we have to just understand the pain this, is going to cause for people. Um, and just say, hey, I do wish you guys, healing. I wish you the best around these times. You know, I do hope you find some solace. I do hope you find, you know, some sort of comfort. I know it's going to be very, very hard. I can imagine it's going to be very hard. You know what I mean? Leaving behind three kids, a wife. It's never going to be easy. You know what I mean? So yeah, my condolences. Honestly, my condolences. It's rough. Jota was a kind of player that, he got you off your feet. You know what I mean? He was a kind of player that even when he was doing it against your team, you had nothing but, yo, he's just a good finisher. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, this is, and the randomness of it, you know what I mean? It's just like coming out of nowhere. Like it hits a bit different. You feel me? Like it really does hit. Um, because then it gives you perspective on like how, you one day you hear, the next day you're not. It just kind of puts you in perspective. Like, this is just how life is. And it's nothing is ever promised. So we do the best that we can with what we have. And Jota, I'm sure, did a lot of the things he wanted to do, and maybe there were still a lot of things, he didn't want to do. I mean, he hasn't gotten to do that he wanted to do. But at least we can take comfort that he's in a great place right now. And I really do wish his family, his wife especially, them kids, um, all the peace and tranquility they can find. You know, his wife, I know she got to take care of three kids by herself now, but she's I'm sure she's not going to be alone. He's got family, brothers, parents, friends, like, so I'm sure she's going to have that support system to make sure she doesn't feel alone. Because I cannot imagine, like, bro, one day, the love of your life is right here. The next day, they ain't. I can't imagine it. So we're not gonna move like we understand it, or we're feeling the same way, because I guarantee you, whatever we're feeling right now, they're feeling it a million times worse, a million times harder, you know. Um, but yeah, it's just, yeah, it's sad. It, this has you at at a point where you don't know what to say. That's the shock factor of it. Um, so yeah, my condolences to Jota's family. I've said it and I'll say it again and again and again and again. Condolences to his wife, his kids, his parents, to the people who have always supported him, to Liverpool, Wolves, because I'm sure that he's impacted so many lives directly and indirectly. You know what I mean? Even from like the person who cuts his hair to the person who washes his car, to his neighbors who get invited over to like barbecues, or, to his friends' families that he goes on vacation with, directly and indirectly, he's definitely changed lives. You don't hear nothing bad about Diogo Jota. Like, you don't hear nothing. You know what I mean? Which tells you he stays in his lane, he minds his business, and he does what he needs to do. You don't hear crazy things about him in the news. You don't hear nothing. So it just goes to testament of, the kind of man he is. And yeah. So condolences to the people that love him, support him. I think he was one of the really serious finishes we've seen, in the Prem. I'm lucky to have been able to witness it. And so have a lot of you. And yeah, he's gone, but not forgotten, because you can't forget someone that, is able to um, show you like the impossible. You know what I mean? Those memories stick with you, and you remember them for a long time. Rest in peace, Diogo Jota. Um, yeah, you never be forgotten. See you on the next one.